All right, this is looking really, really nice. Let's give it, oh, it looks beautiful. A little rough there. I think that's a speed issue, but it's all the little flakes around the edge here. That's all just going to come off real easy. Just rubbing it is coming off. That's not bad at all. Take it out. There we go. And we got our first 2 pieces cut for the base. Quite a few more pieces to go. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the learning of the CNC machine here as we get into it. I'm really excited about this new grow tower. I think with the plastics that we're using, the color scheme we're using, I think they're going to look really, really sharp. They certainly take a lot less work to put together than all the welding that we have to do. And when we get thermal molding in place for our reservoirs, then it's going to be super easy to put these together. And again, I think how they're going to look, this is any indication, is they're going to look pretty sharp. Well, it is the second day of fabrication, and we've got the design book out here. Remember, this is all the drawings for the entire tower, and we're working on the base first. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be, hopefully today I can cut all the pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 parts that all need to have holes and what have you put into it. So we're going to be resetting the table here. We're going to be doing the ends next, which are plastic is right here. So I'm really happy with my mold set up here. Actually looks really cool. Let me show you. So you see we have the 2 sections. This is for our 1-inch stock. That's the guide for it. And then this is our variable area here. I think it's just cool as you start to see we go through the material, which is what we want, and we get into the sub-material here, and we're going to start creating patterns all over the place. It's pretty neat. What I need to do now, I need to let me get this piece off of here. Tape it there, like that, on our trash floor, and then we'll be setting it in, and then we have to reset our guides here because that's just not going to work. So we're going to have to make some more guides there, which is no problem. We've got plenty of stock. So let's get that done. I will say it's getting a little tight in here, but if you remember where we used to be at when it came to fabrication capabilities here, we have come a tremendous way. This all used to be open and filled with stuff, and now we're here and we have actually a functional manufacturing area. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you really get into thinking about how you want all your tools and everything to be organized, and every time you get a new tool, it's like you need to redo your shop so you can figure out how everything's supposed to go. It's cool, but it's getting a little tight. But I do like everything being close to each other. It's nice. So I said in my previous video, one of the cool things about CNC is, you know, once you get everything set up, you can do it a lot. So what we're doing now is we're simply setting up the guide, what I call the mold guide, just my workpiece holder. And again, this is something I could have figured out by sitting in front of CAD and figuring out where to put everything at and just really optimizing everything. But I think any good machinist would tell you sometimes it's better just to come out and actually do rather than just to be thinking all the time about it. So what we're doing is we're creating this tool holder so that it can't move while we're cutting. And we've got to have all the different locations, but we've got to leave empty spots where holes are put so that the tool can actually reach in there. So one of the things I was learning last night is the initial feed rate that we use to go into the material for the very first cut. If it isn't just right, you tend to get some issues with it. Oh no, why did that happen? No, uh-oh, figure out what's going on here. All right, well, something went wrong in my SolidWorks file, and all the work that I did on this particular part was lost. It's been saved multiple times, but for something got corrupted. I don't know if it's the network or what, but you know, so we're in the design book. Last night we got this one done. Today we're starting here, and luckily, actually, when I made these parts, it's probably a good thing that this happened. You count your blessings. If there's anything I've learned is that as things go wrong on this project, God is actually there. It's going to sound weird, but God is actually there teaching me something. And when I first made these, what I think is going on, I didn't really know how to do the cam work. And by the time I got to the end of the book, I was getting a lot better at it, and I knew more about the settings and everything. So I think these ones were a little messed up. So I quickly recreated the cam file. It took me like 2 minutes. It's not that big a deal. There's just so many drawings. I'm scared that if I lose all the cam work from all the files, that's a tremendous amount of work to recreate. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But anyway, there's some bugs in these early files. I'm hoping they go away as we get into later ones. But I just updated the file here. So let's go out on the machine and see how it works. Just loaded the file, and we're having it go home here. You see the contour there, that open hole. And it should come all the way back down to the corner here. I just got to keep my finger. It should come right here. I just keep my finger on this stop button in case it goes too far. Looks like it just didn't go far enough, actually. We're going to do a test first, so let's raise that up. Do a quick little edit. Zero here on the Z. That way we can see how this performs. So glasses on and begin. So this is all just about making sure everything is dialed in correctly. So I'm going to take a little mark here. Just do a quick measurement. Roughly 3 centimeters. It's about 1 3/4 inches. We'll go check that on the main drawing. Wait, oh, of course I forgot my drawing. Oh, measure twice, cut once, right? So we're measuring, it's actually 1 1/4 inches. I said 3/4. It's 3 centimeters, 1 1/4 inches, and the drawing says 1 1/4 inches. So we're dialed in. All right, here we go for real. Rewind and start. I got the finger on the big button. Oh, and we broke a bit. That thing sank in there way too far. And I'm on my last bit. Doing a little troubleshooting here. It's really kind of hard. This did not happen last night, so we have a settings change. We're marking the depth of the bit, and we're going to go in and see what SolidWorks says it's supposed to be. It sank down 1, 2, 3, 4 millimeters, and it's only supposed to sink way less than that. It's only supposed to go down 1 millimeter, and it went down 4. And I reset this axis this morning. I recalibrated it, thinking that maybe that was a problem last night. But with this issue, man, this is a big problem here. Why did that happen? So there has to be a setting in SolidWorks. We need to go figure this out. Really sucks. And I'm down to my last bit. So before we get going too far, I do have, where are they at? I have some different types of bits here that are 1/8 inch. These are double fluted, but they're not router bits, and they leave a much rougher finish. So I'm not excited about having to use them, but we might have to. So we're gonna go to Amazon here, and we're gonna get another set of bits, 1/8 inch bits that are correct here on order. So just in case. Well, I went in and did some looking around, and what I found is as follows. The speed on the Z-axis was a little off. So we reset that and then recalibrated it. And I actually got the caliper out here and measured it, so it's very precise right now. Then I also realized this is stupidity, pure stupidity. So actually it's not stupidity. What it is just ignorance. So when you have these bits, this is called, in my terms here, there's 2 cutting edges, right? And this would be called 2 flutes. 2 flutes, whereas this one that broke, unfortunately I don't have it out here, it's actually a single flute. And the number of flutes allows you to cut faster. So the more flutes you have, the faster you can go. When you have a single flute, you can only cut so fast. And I actually had this typed in as 2 flutes because, one, I didn't know any better, and I copied another one, and I just simply did not count it correctly. It's completely my fault. It was going twice as fast as it should have been going in this material. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reset everything, load the code, you see how that all looks. Should hold. Be very careful here. It looks like it came up the right amount, and we will continue. Now hopefully we don't break this one. Well, we haven't broke it yet. That's good sign. It's cutting nicely. Still cutting more than it should, though. Still cutting at 4. I mean, the bit's doing okay. We'll see how it does. Here comes the second pass. Lots of learning, man. I mean, it's like one of the things with this project is I'm just in constant learning mode. Actually, it starts to get a little tiring after a bit. So now it should punch through there. It just punched through the plastic. I ordered 4 more bits. They're actually the, was it Field Diablo, I forget their home company. They're $11 a piece, so I ordered 4 of them. They're going to be a lot more robust. There's certainly my mistake here, but now we got the real bits coming. We'll see how they perform. I'm certain they'll perform way better. It's looking good. All right, it's finishing up this last hole. One of the great things about this is that the holes are going to be extremely precise. And there we go. You see that cut went well. Spare part. And then we have our nice edge here, which has the fuzzies on it still. I think that's probably a result of the bit type that I'm using, but they come off pretty easy, and a little sandpaper or Brillo pad probably just to take care of that. No problem, and we just don't want to scratch that top really pretty surface. There we go. We just made a part. Huh? How about that? Let's get the next one set up. Just got to make sure this stays flat here, so rub it down. Cool that we're making it happen. Like making it happen. This one has a little bit of variance in it. We'll get that down in there though. They obviously cut with a machine because that is tight. Tight like a tiger. Gotta go update the file because of the changes. We realized what that means now is that really every single file that I have has to be rerun because the flute issue was wrong, so the settings are wrong. We did our first tool change. We're on the back panel, I'm sorry, the front panel, and I've broken 2 bits so far, trying to get the speeds just right. I've used the feeds and speed calculator in the Wizard, but it was having to go way faster than it should have been. So I broke the bits. I got more bits ordered, but I've had to upgrade this bit to the next step up, which means that these engraving cuts, which are for each of the holes that are in this particular panel, there's engraving that says what it's for so that people don't plug the wrong thing into it. But this particular bit is not really doing all that great, and it's got a bunch of plastic gunking up on it. I'm gonna let it run, and we're just gonna get it, just finish it. Since this is the very first one that's done, it's not hugely important, and it's a bunch of learning going on. But unfortunately, it's not making what look to be the best engravings on here. So, like I said, we're just gonna let it go, and something we're gonna have to play with after we get it built. It's not stopping all my build right now. This is the thought process. You know, like I could spend a day trying to get this all figured out and really dialed in, but that's not important, right? It's not the mission. The mission is to get this tower built. So even if I have to skip some of these engravings, you know, I can do that. Of course, I want them there so that we can see how it works and see how it looks, more importantly, since they are just engravings. But anyway, first tool change, and broke 2 bits on 3rd bit, and more on the way, but we'll see how it goes. So I want to show this bit here. This is the really small bit. It's 0.8 millimeters, very, very small, and you can see all the plastic. I can't even get it to focus on it correctly, but all the plastic's right here bunched up on it. So I'm not sure. I think maybe I'm going the spindle's too fast, and what it's doing is melting the plastic, and it looked that way on the engraving, which is hard to show, but there's the problem. You guys tell me. Well, things are going pretty good. I only broke the 2 bits trying to do the engraving on one of them, and decided that I need to practice a lot more on engraving. I have some text that's going into these, and it's just not turning out right, and I broke the bits and wasn't very happy with it. So I got some engraving bits coming, but I'll need to practice with it to really get it dialed in to where I'm happy. This is actually the last piece. The last piece being cut for the base of the Grow Tower version 2. So that's really exciting, because next I got to start putting it all together, and you know, I'm just thinking about all the welding I had to do and how long it took me to put together the base the first time. And I'm excited for, basically I just bolt everything together this time. I just have to go through the machining process, as you're seeing. But this machine is definitely paying for itself. Already found some mistakes and things that I did wrong. If I would have sent it off to someone, I'd have to buy more parts, wait, lose time, and go through it again. So it's really nice having these machines here, especially as the engineer, where I can quickly find out the mistakes. You know, if you don't have machines, then you've got to do the work, send the drawings off, which are a pain. They have to interpret them, then you have to create the models for them, make sure that you have the right models. Then they put in their machine. They cut everything. That takes time because there's a job backlog for them. And then they got to ship it. That takes time. Then you get it. You have to make sure it's all correct. And then as you're going, if you find a mistake that you made as the engineer, you have to do that whole process again or manually change something. So it's really nice being able to quickly make changes before, you know, I see something. I had some holes in the wrong spot, stuff like that. And I was able to, boom, change it and just do one cut, and everything's great. I'm definitely not proficient with this yet, as far as like I got it all nailed in, so don't watch this channel thinking you're going to become a CNC expert, and I am not claiming to be one. But I have learned, and I've got it where things are actually turning out pretty good. So I'm very, very happy with the work that's going on here. And for this tower, it's going in my garage. I think it's great. It's beyond good enough, and I'm really excited for the new look. I'm excited for just everything about this tower. I think it's going to be great. So just a little bit longer here, so I decided to have myself some lunch. Mrs. Martian gave me some crackers and cheese and an orange, and I just happened to have a beer out here. It's Sunday. Sabbath was yesterday for us, so just kind of slowly working into the work week here. I do not encourage anyone to go out and drink or get drunk around extreme machinery. I'm not. I'm having a beer. So we'll see how this all turned out. I am so really thrilled and very, very happy with how these are turning out. It's exactly as I envisioned they would. you can see the recess here, why we needed the CNC machine to make these all recess in and click in just right. These are all supposed to have lettering down at the bottom so that the consumer knows where to plug everything in, so you can't plug the wrong thing into the wrong thing. Same with this one. It's supposed to have the same feature in it, but because I don't have the engraving bits, and I actually did it over here and the camera just doesn't pick it up. I know I'm a long way away, but even when you're close you just can't see it. There's not enough contour. But I actually did put in engraving in here, and I broke 2 bits in the process, and it just didn't come out right. It's the wrong bit. So right tool for the job, and I don't have it. So that should be here on Monday. But we're going to take some scrap pieces, and we're going to do a lot of practicing and make sure we get that all dialed in. So we've got all these pieces here need to go vertical. We do have some more drilling that needs to be done on the ends of these and some thread tapping, but I think the easiest way to do that, instead of using the drill press and having to create a jig and all that, is we'll actually just put them all together and then drill them in place. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So in the next video, we're actually going to start putting this thing all together. So I hope you join us for that. It's cool seeing all the come. I'm really, really excited about how it looks already. I really like the feel. I like the look. It's going to be great seeing it come together. So make sure you join us. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Ring that bell so you get notified when I put up new videos. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Patreon. Always appreciate the support there. In the meantime, this is The Real Martian, out.